Good evening. Welcome to Tony's Tech Talk, episode 15. Tonight we're going to be talking about gaming, phones, and carriers. But before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to all of you. Thank you very much for watching. And I know there's not very much of you who do, but for those who do, I do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. It's very much appreciated. And if I could do anything to give back to you guys, I would. But as it stands right now, all I can give back are smiles. So, cheese, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the top news, tech news that was revealed today. Looks like if you have an Xbox One or Xbox 360, you are in luck if you like the Xbox apps, because in just a few days, we're looking at E3, and prior to that, Microsoft has announced upwards of 45 different apps that will be available, including Twitter, Vine, and HBO Go on both Xbox One and Xbox 360 consoles. Now, that is dependent on some of the applications as well as where you are located. So, for example, take into account an application called Sky Online that will only be available for Xbox One, not the Xbox 360, but a very popular app like NHL, that's going to be available on both Xbox One and Xbox 360. Then it depends on which country you're in. So, for example, the Xbox One NHL for the Xbox One is going to be available in the U.S., Mexico, Canada, France, Italy, Spain, Australia, Austria, New Zealand. So, I mean, you can look at the list later on. If you go to news.xbox.com and look this up, you can get the whole list. But it's about 45 plus apps, and I'll just mention a few of them. Antenna 3, Chili TV, Comedy Central, Crunchyroll. They're getting on more and more consoles these days. Encore Play, Epix, Filmbox Live, Fox Play, Frightflix, FX Now, Gold TV, GoPro, HBO Go, iHeartRadio, and like I said, the list goes on and on and on. What's really nice about some of the applications, especially an app like Twitter, is that it's contextually smart. So if you're watching like a show, Big Bang Theory, for example, it'll find like the relevant Big Bang Theory Twitter hashtags that are going on live, and as you're watching the show, it'll have a little ticketer at the bottom, so you can still see, the majority of the show. It doesn't shrink it or anything, or I'm sure you could snap it to the side or whatever. And that, again, that's the benefit of the Xbox One. You can have the video pass through and watch watch your TV through it and have this kind of interaction with apps like Twitter. Why you would want Vine on the big screen TV? Why the heck not? Just because you can, I mean, if they make the application easy to use, if it has the voice command ability on both the Xbox One and Xbox 360. I don't know if you would want to upload using the Kinect or not. You could. Why not? Sure. Go ahead, try it out. Give it a shot. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I have Xbox 360, and I don't have very many apps because we really only use it for like Netflix and, well, Minecraft. But some of these apps, I would definitely at least give a shot just to try it out. Why not? So yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, something that was really, really, really big was that Amazon did two things. They released a video on YouTube kind of showing all these people doing this. Watch. Wow, that's impressive. I didn't expect that. Or, ooh, pretty. I'm going a little hyperbole there, but the fact is they're looking at something, and in the actual content of the YouTube video, where has all this description and links and things like that, is talking about a press conference, or I guess it's open to the public to a certain degree, and they are having a big press announcement on June 18th. So that's maybe 2 weeks away from now. And what do you think it could be? Well, obviously at this point in time, we are looking at the infamous Amazon 3D smartphone. So the great folks over at Boy Genius Report got this leaked picture of the front and back of the Amazon 3D smartphone. I don't know if it's going to be called the 3D smartphone. We'll just call it the Kindle phone or the Fire phone. We'll call it the Fire phone. And what's going to be really cool about this is that it's, well, going to be Amazon's attempt in the smartphone realm. We don't really necessarily know what the 6 cameras are in the front. I guess it's 4 infrared cameras on the front, and then the standard front-facing camera and the standard rear-facing camera. But these 4 infrared cameras, based off of what the customers' reactions are in the Amazon video, apparently do something really, really cool, and it's very intuitive, I think was one of the words that somebody used. So that's exciting. I mean, you know, bring it on. Competition is great for everybody. With Amazon, they help drive the price down for all of competition. I think with their Kindle Fire, that really helped lower the prices for even some of the tablets that are coming out of Samsung, and with the original Nexus 7. So that's a really awesome thing that Amazon, although they're getting a lot of flack from press saying, like, why would you even bother? Even I've said this in the past. Like, well, I still don't really see the point in having an Amazon phone if you have the Amazon App Store on all these Android devices. I mean, you could, sideload it, but still, I still don't necessarily see the reason for it unless it's really just going to be a cash register for your content. And if that's the case, then fine. But what we also have seen through leaks is that they're going to have this exclusively with AT&T, and they're going to have something called Prime Data, which, if we understand the concept, if you are using an Amazon product like Kindle or Audible.com or the Amazon Prime video stream service, you would be able to watch those shows, read those books, listen to your audiobooks without using your 3G or 4G data from AT&T. And so essentially, Amazon would be paying for that. That's kind of the caveat there. So that's kind of a cool and interesting idea. Kind of goes into the whole net neutrality thing, that Amazon's paying to have to get better, faster service. But I don't know. It does and it doesn't. It's basically sponsored internet connectivity. With regard to the under the hood specifications on this phone, we're looking at a 4.7-inch screen that's only 720p, possibly quad-core Snapdragon processor, 801, 800, 2 gigs of RAM, and like we said, it's going to have Google's Android, but it's going to be completely forked over. And I'm excited for this. So like I said, June 18th is when the press event is going to happen. If you, again, go to the video on YouTube, it looks like it's open to the public. So if you are in Seattle, you can actually go and possibly see this firsthand. And yeah, we'll let you know what we think, and either here or on LazyTechGuys.com's website, Facebook, Google+, and of course our podcast, the LTG show, every Tuesday night. So again, June 18th in Seattle. I don't know exactly what the date is, what the time is, but I can only assume it's going to be about 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll see. We'll find out. Cool. Last but not least, big reporting regarding the whole Sprint T-Mobile merging. It's supposedly, according to sources for the Wall Street Journal as well as Bloomberg, this deal is bound to close in just another month or so before the summer's end. And it's said that with people that are close to the matter, that they could value the buyout of just around $32 billion, which puts the shares at around $40 a share. Now, this would leave Deutsche Telekom, with the agreements of this would leave Deutsche Telekom only about 15% stake in T-Mobile. So they would still own a little bit of a piece of it, but Sprint would own pretty much the rest of it. And that's the interesting thing. It's the way that all of this is being worded is Sprint is the one buying T-Mobile, not SoftBank. Although SoftBank is the main company behind this, everybody's wording it like Sprint is the one buying T-Mobile. And I still can't wrap my head around why the regulatory department and the regulators would be okay with this, because it's the third and fourth largest carrier in the United States, and maybe that's why, because they're like, third and fourth, and they don't really have to worry about too much overlapping market share. But they would essentially be doing the same thing that T-Mobile was attempting to do with AT&T just a few years ago. So this would then only make it so that here in the United States we have less competition of the major carriers. We'd have it whittled down to Verizon Wireless, AT&T Wireless, and now Sprint T-Mobile or T-Sprint, whatever. So yeah, it should be closing sometime in July. I still don't think this would happen. And just like the AT&T T-Mobile thing, if it doesn't happen, looks like T-Mobile is also going to get that same kind of multi-billion-dollar buyout where like there's some sort of agreement where if the termination fee does have to be applied, T-Mobile is still going to make some sort of money out of it for going through this. So it's funny because last time they got the buyout fee from AT&T, that's actually when they bought out Metro PCS, just around that time too. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if SoftBank does do this, if Sprint does this, whoever, and we'll keep you informed with the whole thing. But I don't. So here's my thing. I don't think it's going to happen. A lot of other people think it's going to happen, and it's already in the bag. It might be in the bag, but again, it has to pass regulatory inspection and approval, and I don't think that approval is going to be met. So let me know what you think in the comments section below here on YouTube or on Google Plus or wherever. Hit me up on Twitter. But yeah, I don't think that this is going to happen anytime soon. But hey, I've been wrong about other things too. So that's pretty much it. We will continue this daily update on tech news pretty much every day around this time. So stay tuned, stay classy, and be good to each other. We'll do one more check on the Q&A, see if anybody has any questions. There's not? Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. You have a good one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.